हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू इंग्लिश विद देव कृष्णा। आज हम लोग एक नया चैप्टर करेंगे जो आईसीएसई के क्लास 10 और सीबीएसई के क्लास 12 सिलेबस में है। सो इट्स अ कॉमन चैप्टर एंड इट्स गोइंग टू बेनिफिट all the students equally. The chapter is none other than the last lesson by Alphonse Daudet. Now before we proceed, this chapter setting is very important because ये setting है एक war situation में. It was during the Franco-Prussian War, जब फ्रांस और प्रूशिया में एक वॉर चल रहा था. That time Prussia consisted of Germany, Poland and some parts of Russia, Austria. Now this is basically थोड़ा सा आपको history you have to delve on it. That's it. Just a bit. You should know the background. नहीं तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा कि suddenly why is this a language problem. Basically what happens in any situation, जब भी कोई colonial power कोई भी country और एक country को attack करता है, rule करता है, उसका first step होता है उसके language को ख़त्म करने का. So here, when Prussia defeated France, it occupied Alsace and Lorraine. These two places were very famous as industrial towns, very famous for their iron mines. And that is the reason when they became the masters of this particular region in France, they imposed, the first thing that they imposed was French और पढ़ाया नहीं जाएगा, अब से सिर्फ German पढ़ाया जाएगा. So what do the masters do in any situation? If you see, the rulers, they try to snatch away, they try to completely curb the existing language system ताकि communication में problem हो. People lose that sense of identity because आपसे अगर आपका language छीना गया तो आपका वो identity एक crisis में हर कोई तब suffer करता है. So when we move into the chapter, you will understand how France was made to suffer primarily because of the language, और कहीं ना कहीं the rulers as well as the French people were equally involved in it, equally responsible for it. So the last lesson, the opening scene is there is a boy who is a speaker, the narrator. His name is Franz, Franz. France, and he is a truant. Truant is a very good word for जो बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जाते, क्लास बंक करते हैं. You can use this word truant. Now he did not like attending his French classes and he always kept bunking. It was a bright day. If you open to page 167, he thought of running away and spending the whole day outdoors. कौन जाएगा स्कूल, कौन अटेंड करेगा वो बोरिंग क्लासेस. We also must have felt, the adults must have felt when we were children, and you as students must have felt the same. But if you do it on a continuous basis, it is wrong. So while he was rushing to school because he knew that M. Hamel, uska jo master tha, the master Hamel, he was about to take a lesson or a revision on participles. Participle is a chapter in grammar. So when he passed, he saw the bulletin board. Now what is a bulletin board? A bulletin board it's simply a board like this where certain notices are given for the common people to know. ये सबके लिए है. But यहाँ पर the bulletin board, if you see, is a symbolism. It has a symbol. It is a symbol to control the public, to control the French people. क्योंकि बार बार उस bulletin board में for the last 2 years Prussia kept sending bad news. कुछ ना कुछ they started implementing on the French people to curb their independence, to control them. So this young boy also felt अभी क्या हो गया? What could be the reason? He says, what can be the matter now? अभी क्या हो गया? Okay, so he started rushing towards his school. Usually when school began, there was a great bustle which could be heard out in the street, the opening and closing of the desks, lessons repeated in unison. In unison means together, very loud with the hands over your ears to understand better. So when everybody shouting, सब लोग अपना lesson जोर जोर से बोलते हैं तो बहुत confusing लगता है. So some people, what do? They put their hands over their ears. Okay, and the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table. Rapping means continuous when you hit the ruler on the table. But now it was all so still. It was surprising because that day was very different. That day it was completely silent. क्या हो गया स्कूल को? स्कूल तो बहुत noisy है, but स्कूल तो आज एकदम silent है. What's the matter? I had counted on the commotion to get to my desk without being seen. Usko laga ki he will sneak in. Sneak in means it's a good word, like when you want to get into a place without being noticed. कोई आपको notice ना करे and आप just चुपके you enter. So he wanted to sneak in because the teacher would be involved in maintaining discipline, the children would be involved in shouting and screaming. But uska to plan chaupat. That day everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning. Through the window he saw his classmates were there, and he also saw some elders of the village. Like it was surprising. ये बड़े लोग जो है, the mayor, some farmers, the peasants, what were they doing at the back of the class? He wondered. So the moment he entered, M. Hamel saw him. बहुत quietly he said, "Go to your place quickly, little Franz. We were beginning without you. So we were just about to begin. So please go and take your seat." I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt, and the little black silk cap all embroidered that he never wore except on inspection on prize days. So he saw a remarkable change. First of all, the man looked very calm. Unlike the other days, वो चिल्लाता था. But आज he is very calm. On top of that, he was wearing his green coat. And he also wore a frilled shirt with a black silk cap. So he thought आज special क्या है, because M. Hamel usually wore that attire on special days. आज क्या हो गया? Besides, the whole school seemed so strange and solemn. So two things were very strikingly, very surprising that day. But the thing that surprised me most was to see on the back benches that were always empty, the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. Old Hauser with his three-cornered hat, the former mayor, the former postmaster, and several others besides. And they looked very sad. And Hauser had brought his old primer also. Primer is like, we had this when we were very young. हम लोग के बचपन में अ आ क ख ग घ इसका एक बुक होता था एकदम पतला सा. That's called a primer. Introduction to the letters. Okay, so he's wondering, अरे आज तो village के सब बुजुर्ग लोग, the elders have also come. They don't come to school, and that also with their old, with that primer in their hand. They looked sad. What has happened? He's wondering. While I was wondering about it all, M. Hamel mounted his chair and in the grave and gentle tone which he had used to me said, "My children." Now there is a change. I'll come to that later on in the critical remarks. He uses the phrase, "my children." Okay, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last lesson. Last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive. Now this was a thunderclap. ये एकदम जैसे बिजली कड़कने जैसा था. What a thunderclap these words were to me. That's the metaphor. Direct. Like the words were equal to a thunderclap in his ears. So although this little boy Franz did not like his teacher, but that day he could not take this. Sometimes we dislike certain teachers who are very, strict. But in the long run, if you feel that these teachers, maybe because of the strictness you did not like them, but maybe because of them, you are what you are today, right? So, oh, the wretches, that was what they put up at the town hall. Now he understood that the people who were crowding around the bulletin board, kya ho gaya? He wondered now what had happened then. This was the order that was sent by the rulers कि अब से और ये नहीं चलेगा, French classes नहीं चलेगा, German will be taught in all schools. So how pathetic it is. You are snatched away of your identity, your language, your mother tongue being taken away from you. Now today's kids, or even as adults today, we take this for granted. But imagine yourself, place yourself in that situation and feel what an insulting, it is humiliating that being of a certain origin, you don't know your language and you will not be allowed to learn that language. Okay, this is very important now. My last French lesson. Why? I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn anymore. I must stop there then. Oh, how sorry I was not for learning my lessons, for seeking birds' eggs or going sliding on the Saar. Saar is a river. My books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar and my history of the saints were old friends now that I couldn't give up. Now, He is repenting, he's regretting all this while. Why did I waste my time? Now this language will be completely snapped away. And I used to hate my books, I used to hate the history of my country. And now these particular things now felt like ye mere purane dost the, like old friends. This is known as situational irony. A friend in your class whom you don't like, but when you really needed help just before your exams, that is the friend or that is the boy or girl who ends up helping you, and your so-called friends, they discard you, they leave you. So that is a situational irony where you feel, oh God, how could I neglect this boy or girl or this person? Okay, so now he craves the history, the saints, the language. And M. Hamel, to the idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was. Now he's like, okay, how could I think that this man was so mad, so crazy? Now he's feeling guilty. Okay, this actually shows a big change, a big shift of France from a young boy to a serious young man. We'll come to this. It's the biggest transformation when he realizes how kiddish he had been all throughout. Poor man, now he refers to M. Hamel. Earlier he used to refer M. Hamel as cranky, crazy. Now he's referring to M. Hamel as poor man, bichara admi. It was like he understood why he was decked up in that attire, why people had come. They were sorry. Why were the elders in the village sorry? Because उन लोग को भी लगा कि हम लोग जब young थे, we did not learn our language properly. We take our language for granted, just like the way we take our parents for granted. हम लोग को पता है मम्मी पापा तो चिल्लाते रहेंगे, ठीक है, चिल्लाने दो, we will just ignore. But the day they are not with us, that day you realize their worth. Or the day you have to leave for some work, that day you realize their worth. Similarly, when the language is taken away from you, that is the time when you feel, hey Bhagwan, ये तो हम लोग का identity ले रहा है, right? So it was because they were sorry, even the elders were sorry that हम लोग भी अपने time पे अच्छे से ये language को नहीं पढ़े. So now M. Hamel suddenly asks this France that you recite the participles, and France is like he's in hot water. He has not revised. Forget about revising. He doesn't even know. He hasn't even opened his book all this while. So he's stunned and he's standing like this because he knows nothing. Zero. He knows nothing. Now M. Hamel, in a very calm tone, he takes accountability. He does not charge the child. He does not charge anybody. He does not blame anybody. He takes accountability. He says, I won't scold you, little France. You must feel bad enough. You're already feeling bad enough. See how it is. Every day we have said to ourselves, bah, I've plenty of time. I'll learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we've come out. That's a great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till tomorrow. Puts off means postpones. Now those fellows out there means the rulers, the Prussians, will have the right to say to you, how is it you pretend to be Frenchmen and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language? But you are not the worst, poor little France. We've all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. So he says, now the rulers will come and say, you call yourselves Frenchmen, you don't even know your language, shame on you. It's actually a fact. I told you right in the beginning that it's not only the masters who are to be blamed, it's also the people the colonized people, the people who are ruled. They also lose their identity because they themselves are responsible. They also did not learn their language well, right? Your parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. They preferred to put you to work on a farm or at the mills so as to have a little more money. And I've been to blame also. Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons? And when I wanted to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? He also takes accountability. Now this is maturity. When you know you are wrong, instead of continuously arguing, you should say, हाँ मेरा भी गलती था. तो वो भी अपना गलती मानता है कि मैंने भी कभी कभार तुम लोग को बोला है कि go and water my plants, और today I want to go fishing, जाओ छुट्टी. So he says, मैंने भी अपने साइड से कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा I have also shown lag, relaxation. I have also relaxed my efforts. Okay. Now he starts appreciating the language. He calls French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical, that we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is the key to their prison. If you want to say at 15th August, 26th January, we say proud Indians, this and that, but kabhi khud ko pooch ke dekho, do you know your language well? Your own mother tongue, forget about Hindi, English, everything. Your own mother tongue, do you know your language well? If not, then you don't love your country. You don't love your state only, right? Then he opened a grammar and read us our lesson, and it seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. It was his last lesson, so he just wanted to give away everything. उस कुछ ही घंटों में उसको सब कुछ, उसको जैसे पूरा फ्रेंच लैंग्वेज पढ़ाना था. एंड फ्रेंच इज़ अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट लैंग्वेज. Chinese, French, these are very difficult languages, very extremely like there are like levels of difficulty. And they being French people, they only did not know how to read and write, or the basic grammar. Okay, so now after the grammar lesson was done, they had a lesson in writing. He distributed these copies among these people, the kids and the elders. They look like little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom, hung from the rod at the top of our desks. That's a simile, because they looked like, okay. You ought to have seen how everyone set to work and how quiet it was. The only sound was the scratching of the pens over the paper. Scratching of the pens over the paper. Auditory, imagery. Auditory means something which you can hear. Imagery is what? It's a figure of speech that helps the writer to transport his readers to a certain situation. So when you write, and there's pin drop silence, when you write on a paper, there's this khas 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 sound, right? So he's saying that there was pin drop silence. Even if some beetles flew in, nobody paid attention. Generally what happens, the moment a cockroach or a lizard or a beetle flies in, all the kids, they start shouting. But that day, nothing could distract them. They were busy writing. But it was too late. That was the last French lesson. Now, he says, on the roof the pigeons cooed very low, and I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? What a line, what a hard-hitting line. He's saying, the rulers are imposing these restrictions on us. Kya wo log, rulers, ये pigeons को भी क्या, they will start making them coo. Coo means that's the sound of a pigeon. Coo in German. What a hard-hitting line. He's being so sarcastic, but in a very sad way. कि अभी क्या animals, birds को भी ये लोग German सिखाएंगे? Okay. Whenever I looked up from my writing, I saw M. Hamel sitting motionless in his chair and gazing first at one thing, then at another, as if he wanted to fix in his mind just how everything looked in that little schoolroom. Fancy means imagine. For 40 years, he was a teacher there for 40 years, not a matter of joke. He had been there in the same place with his garden outside the window and his class in front of him, just like that. So here, he could see, and he's feeling very bad for his teacher. वो देख रहा है कि M. Hamel, जब तक वो लोग लिख रहे थे, M. Hamel ऐसे चारों तरफ देख रहा है, as if he wants to capture everything in that moment, like he wants to fix it here in his heart forever. Okay. Only the desks and benches had been worn smooth, the walnut trees in the garden were taller, and the hop vine that he had planted himself twined about the windows to the roof. Very important line. This shows a visual imagery. Again, the writer is trying to transport the readers, us, into that classroom setting. बाहर एक garden है जहाँ पर very tall walnut trees जो खुद M. Hamel ने लगाया था, okay, and the hop vine, they had grown taller. This is also, M. Hamel's garden is also a symbol for his service as a teacher for 40 years, because when he started teaching there, he must have started the garden, must have planted those trees, and now those trees are so tall. Of course, after 40 years they will be. So those trees, that garden is a stark witness of his 40 years of service, dedicated service as a French teacher. How it must have broken his heart to leave it all, poor man, to hear his sister moving about in the room above, packing their trunks, for they must leave the country next day. So नाउ फ्रांस कितना मच्योर है, दिस बच्चा हैज बिकम सो मच्योर, ही सिंग कितना दुख होता होगा इस टीचर को कि सब कुछ छोड़ के जाना पड़ेगा आफ्टर 40 years, दैट ऑल्सो खुद से रिटायरमेंट नहीं, ही इज फोर्स्ड टू रिटायर, गेट लॉस्ट आउट ऑफ द कंट्री. ओके, एंड कितना दुख होता होगा कि ही हैज टू पैक अप एवरीथिंग एंड लीव. But he had the courage to hear every lesson to the very last. After the writing, we had a lesson, and the small kids they chanted the ba, be, bi, bo, boo. Okay, and then old Hauser also started reciting at the same time. Those elders also. You could see that he too was crying. His voice trembled with emotion, and it was so funny to hear him that we all wanted to laugh and cry. How well I remember it, that last lesson. So old Hauser, when this, when among kids, when you find some elderly person sitting and attending classes, it is funny, right? And now that elderly person, he's crying while reciting. So the others, they started laughing also, and they started crying also. It was a mixed kind of a feeling of intense sorrow as well as a funny. It was funny because old Hauser looked funny while reciting. Okay. Now, when the church clock struck 12, M. Hamel stood up, very pale in his chair. Why pale? Because he's extremely sad, he's very depressed, and he knows it's all over. I never saw him look so tall. Again, sign of maturity, change in the character of Franz. He said that when M. Hamel stood up, I never saw him look so tall. It's not just the height. Now he's developed that respect for that poor man, whom he used to think cranky, crazy, so strict, irritable. Today, his respect for that man knew no bounds. आज उसके लिए इज्जत उसका बहुत बड़ा हो गया. Because when he stood up, standing up tall का मतलब सिर्फ ये नहीं कितना लंबा आदमी है. No, वो नाटा भी हो सकता है, छोटा भी हो सकता है, बट इसका मतलब उसके कर्म, the work that he did, the dedication made him look so tall, the respect. Okay. Then he said, my friend said I, but something choked him. He could not go on. And he could not go on because he was feeling emotional. He was about to cry. So what he did, he took a piece of chalk, he turned to the board and he wrote, Vive la France, which means long live France. Then he stopped and then he leaned against the wall and he said, okay, fine. He showed a gesture, एक movement दिखा के बोला, school is dismissed, you may go. So, very beautiful, very touching story, and with which all of us should resonate. Now I'll come to the theme. First of all, language. It's a symbol of identity. If you don't know your language well, and you go to a foreign country and you say, I am a Bengali, and you don't know how to speak in Bengali. So don't think that you look very stylish. Or I'm an Indian, I don't know basic Hindi. Or your basic mother language, you don't even know that. So don't think it looks very cool. It does not. Here, when a ruler wants to assert their power, the first thing that they attack is the language, which the British also did. The British came to India, क्या किया? English एकदम compulsory कर दिया. जो भी संस्कृत, वो जो उर्दू, ये जो था, जो लोकल जो भी लैंग्वेजेस जो था, सब हटा के इंग्लिश क्यों किया? बट हम लोग के लिए टर्न आउट टू बी अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज, बिकॉज इंडिया में तो लैंग्वेज इशू था ही. नाउ इंग्लिश बिकेम अ कॉमन लैंग्वेज. ना दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग. बट हियर फ्रांस में तो फ्रेंच ही चलेगा. वो भी अगर तुम छीन लोगे और जर्मन इम्पोज कर दोगे तो इमेजिन दीज पीपल टुक देयर लैंग्वेज फॉर ग्रांटेड. अभी इट्स टू लेट. जो कम्युनिकेट भी करेंगे, कम्युनिकेट देखो फ्रेंच में हो सकता है दे आर स्पीकिंग इन फ्रेंच, बट एक होता है ना दैट एक्सपर्टीज इन योर लैंग्वेज. वो जो लैंग्वेज को जानना, इफ यू एज अ फ्रेंच और वॉट एवर आइडेंटिटी नेशनलिटी, इफ यू डोंट नो योर लैंग्वेज, सिर्फ बोलना लिखना इज़ नॉट इनफ. उस लैंग्वेज के डेप्थ को जानना, उस लैंग्वेज के ऊपर कुछ बुक्स पढ़ना, उसके साहित्य, उसके लिटरेचर को जानना. इफ़ यू डोंट नो दैट, यू आर नॉट अ प्राउड सिटीजन. ओके, नेक्स्ट, एजुकेशन. एवरी डे we should learn something. यहाँ पर when they show that the elders of the village have also arrived, it's too late. Last lesson, last day आके क्या होगा? That means they also realize कि हम लोग जब बचपन में we also did not learn the language well. Now क्या होगा? मैंने to show respect to that man M. Hamel, last में ये लोग आए, but it was too late. So what does this story show? That no matter what your age is, you might be 80, 60, 40, whatever it is, every day you should learn something. And language is something. If today I'm a Bengali, I will say I will not learn anything except English and Bengali and Hindi, no, wrong. Try to learn some other local language, थोड़ा. It sounds very interesting also, कुछ ना कुछ, या अपने ही भाषा को अच्छे से सीखो, right? That's education. Patriotism goes without saying. This man, M. Hamel, he is a symbol of patriotism, because for 40 years he gave his soul trying to teach kids कि फ्रेंच पढ़ लो बेटा, अच्छे से पढ़ लो, but nobody paid attention. That is their fault. But he gave his 40 years, dedicated 40 years, because उसको पता था कि language is a big weapon, especially when you're being ruled by an outside force. Okay. And change in the characters of Franz and M. Hamel, as I told you, France में जो change आया, he suddenly, when he came to know that M. Hamel was about to leave, he suddenly became that वो young school boy से वो कब एक mature man बन गया. This shows that transition. When he started not only resonating, but he started feeling bad for the man. उसको बहुत बुरा लगने लगा. Sympathizing with, not only sympathizing, literally empathizing with him. उसको फील हुआ कि that man is going through a core, what he's going through is in his core, in his heart, कि वो बेचारा वो पूरा स्कैन कर रहा है क्लासरूम को, अपने गार्डन को देख रहा है कि इस आदमी को कितना बुरा लग रहा होगा. एंड फॉर अ यंग बॉय हु केप्ट बंकिंग क्लासेस, उसके लिए ऐसे सोचना is a mammoth change, huge change. And M. Hamel had always been extremely strict, irritable. लोग कांपते हैं, बच्चे कांपते हैं उसको देख के. वहाँ से ही इज रेफरिंग पीपल एज माई चिल्ड्रन. ही ऑल्सो टेक्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी कि कभी कभार ही ऑल्सो शोड अ बिट ऑफ लैग. He was also not strict throughout, and that's a sign of big maturity to accept कि उसका भी कुछ drawbacks थे, and maturity to accept यही है situation, अभी nothing can be done. So instead of showing his full-fledged temper, he refers the kids as my children for the first time. Okay, so I will be attaching this at the end of the video. I will also be sharing few question answers with you, which I think it is going to be of help. सबके लिए थोड़ा help हो जाएगा. Last में मैं कुछ question answers share करूँगी. Now a quick tip before I wrap up, and it's going to resonate with our chapter today. Whenever you feel that you really want to excel at English, forget about excelling. You want to do good at English. First thing, accept whether you love your mother tongue or not, whether you like it or not. If you think it is very cool to say, I don't know Hindi well, I don't know Bengali well, whatever it is, then it is wrong. You won't be able to catch a good hold of the English as well, because when you think in your mother tongue. If I go to a foreign country and I'm a Bengali and a fellow Bengali meets me, and when she converses with me and I say আমি ভালো করে বাংলা বলতে পারি না, or say if I'm an Uriya and I say mu bhala bhabare Uriya jani nahi, I think I am right the way I spoke. Please do comment in the comment section. If I speak this way, do you think they're going to appreciate me? No. You should be proud of your roots. You should be proud of your mother tongue, because when you think in your mother tongue, and then only you are able to translate it well. If your mother tongue roots are only not strong, then how will you translate into the other language, right? So love your mother tongue first. And it's not only about loving, it's incorporating in your daily life, inculcating. Okay, don't think that it's going to look very cool if you say I don't know my mother tongue well. No, it isn't. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep reading.